Genesis 2 verse 24. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. Ephesians 5 verse 33. However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. Hebrews 13 verse 4. Marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure. For God will judge the adulterer and all the sexually immoral. Colossians 3 verse 18 to 19. Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands, as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives, and do not be harsh with them. Colossians 3 verse 14. And over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Ephesians 6 verse 1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Exodus 20 verse 12. Honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. Proverbs 10 verse 1. A wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish son brings grief to his mother. Proverbs 23 verse 22. Listen to your father, who gave you life, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Proverbs 15 verse 32. Those who disregard discipline despise themselves, but the one who heeds correction gains understanding. Colossians 3 verse 21. Fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. Proverbs 29 verse 15. A rod and a reprimand impart wisdom, but a child left undisciplined disgraces its mother. Ephesians 6 verse 4. Fathers, do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord. Proverbs 22 verse 6. Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. Colossians 3 verse 21. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Colossians 3 verse 19. Husbands, love your wives, and do not be harsh with them. Ephesians 5 verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Ephesians 5 verse 28. In the same way, husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. Ephesians 5 verse 33. However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. 1 Peter 3 verse 7. Husbands, in the same way, be considerate as you live with your wives, and treat them with respect, as the weaker partner, and as heirs with you of the gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers.
Colossians 3 verse 18. Wives, submit yourself to your husbands, as is fitting in the Lord. Proverbs 14 verse 1. The wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears hers down. Ephesians 5 verse 33. However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. Proverbs 31 verse 10. A wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Proverbs 12 verse 4. A wife of noble character is her husband's crown, but a disgraceful wife is like decay in his bones.
Matthew 19 verse 4 to 6. Haven't you read? He replied, that at the beginning the Creator made them male and female, and said, for this reason a man will leave his father and mother, and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. Colossians 3 verse 18 to 21. Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands, as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. Fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. John 15 verse 12. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. 1 Timothy 5 verse 8. Anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially for their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Ephesians 2 verse 19. Consequently, you are no longer foreigners and strangers, but fellow citizens with God's people, and also members of His household,